Hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel. All of my beautiful, wonderful subscribers. Thank you for coming in. I'm doing some different interviews last week and this week, different kind of content as well. But super, super important and something I'm really passionate about right now. So we're going to be talking about this from starved to healthy to the divine feminine energy. This is going to be our topic. And I have my two beautiful guests here today, as they were here last week as well. We had a really awesome conversation. If you missed that video, go check it out from last week, the superpower of the feminine energy. So I have Fabiana, Nomadic Goddess, and Bella Bablumia. And they'll introduce themselves in a second. I'm Leanna Walden, and I'm a sexual energy activator and sexual relationships coach. So, well, you know, this is my channel. I've been here for a while. And so the reason we're coming together, the three of us, is that we have a very beautiful container program vortex that we're creating for women to come in and discover their feminine energy and discover, experiment, explore within the feminine energy. And we were initially going to start this program on the 12th of September, but we feel like we need more time to kind of get ourselves in that space and really get the word out there, really embody this energy so that we're full in for the program. So it's now going to start September 26th for 6 weeks. So I will have more information below where you can contact us if you would like to talk to anybody and find out more information about that. And I'll talk a bit more about that at the end as well. So let's get into let's get into meeting these wonderful women. Well, Fabiana, you're next to me, so why don't you start?
I love this, this collage. Yeah, it looks great. So hello, everyone. Here I am again with so much pleasure once more. It's great to be with these women. I'm loving to be estar com vocês. Like being on a Friday with you ladies. We have this expression here in Brazil. It's Friday with the girls. I love them. It's been really cool and supportive, which we need in these times. So yes, I am Fabiana, Nomadic Goddess. That's my calling and my path, as it really reflects well who I am, this gypsy soul and very nomadic soul in all aspects, not only physically, but ideologically, right? The idea is to go beyond frontiers, go beyond limits, go beyond taboos, go beyond categories, go beyond everything we've learned so far, fixed beliefs and fixed boxes, to sort of deconstruct everything and create something new that comes from our truth and our essence. And that, yes, it's just real, right? It's not imposed from the outside. And so that's that's me, and that's what I do. And I carry this energy through art, especially like dance, like embodied arts of performance and dance, and also embodied ritual. So, I would say that dance is a prayer. So I pray through that. I ritualize life through the body, through movement, and through sexual energy as well, because I also come from a tantric path and work with that. So those are, my things over there, magic, things, and sex. And of course, all of them are linked towards the feminine, especially reclaiming this strength of the feminine energy and the power of the feminine energy, working both with women and men, right? But that's the focus, is really like, let's tell a different story here of what the feminine is all about and what we women can or cannot do and what our sexuality and our bodies can or cannot be like.
Mm.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Also
Beautiful.
spiritually guided, and with the purpose of really creating a new era, right? Creating something new that is beyond what we know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nice. Fabiana's breaking up a little bit. We get your voice. Sometimes your picture is freezing. Oh, there you're back. You're back in.
I am
Nice.
back. Yes.
Thank you. That's so beautiful. She's so connected in and just allowing the flow of the feminine to move through you, and oh, so nice. Can feel it. Can feel it in you. Feel it in you deeply. So Bella, here's Bella Bablumian, and I just wanted to point out as well that we are quite an international team. We did meet in Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, and we've been chatting about doing something together for at least a year, I think. But I'm originally from Canada. Fabiana's originally from Italy, and I go like this, but you're there. Bella is from Armenia. So it's just such a juicy combination of women that have gone through also very different processes and experiences to come to where we are. So let's hear from Bella.
Hey guys, so awesome to see you. I feel like Fabi, that it's so nice to come together on a Friday and really release this energy and let it flow, like you said, Liana. I think it's really about we're entering into this era. And interesting, I was reading about the numerology recently that in 2000 we entered the feminine principle, which is before it was in the thousands, 1,000 something, and then with 2000 the female number 2 came into straight focus, and it's interesting because my journey started just around then. So I really feel like it's and now we're entering into like 2022 next year, which is also there's been a lot of movements on the feminine energy rising. Mm-hmm. And I think it's really important what you brought up, Dana, that we came to this from completely different angles, and that's really powerful because first of all, there are different ways of doing this, but also every road is leading to the discovery of feminine energy if you're at all connected to that inner calling, that inner truth. And for me, that inner calling has helped me, and this is my introduction, I guess, in Brazil, I finally unleashed that feminine energy and into my most kind of heartfelt creation so far, which is the Embodied Wellness Institute, which is about bringing pleasurable wellness to the world. And by pleasurable wellness, I really do mean this inner flow, right? This inner state of bliss and orgasmic living, and really just connecting to the true inner desires, that calling that you feel, and that often still in our society is considered as hedonistic, as shameful, as incorrect, as it goes along also with the vulnerability that comes with it, which is it's like, oh, you have to be strong. So discovering that vulnerability is oftentimes our strength, right? Mm-hmm. I bring a little bit of a different, more like I come from the field of psychology and holistic nutrition, later international health, but now I really have incorporated a lot of the healing practices into my work. That includes both this ability to reconnect with the body on a very cellular level, so really dropping into the body and feeling what it has to tell you, where is it guiding you, right? And I've been doing that with a lot of different professionals at the Embodied Wellness Institute, both from the sexual practices of Taoism, which go back to ancestral China, to singing and voice and activating our the flow of our own voice, what our own voice has to tell the world. So I'm really excited about this journey, really happy to be here with you girls. and really hope that a lot of different women from other parts of the world will join us, because I think it is a very international, it's going to be a very international, very sort of this place where we bring a lot of different journeys and roads together of discovering something really beautiful together. And I'm including the three of us in this journey. For me, it's definitely begun like last week when we started this. We're on this together.
Yes, we definitely are on this together. And when you come together as a group to offer something as full as this, as transformational as this program is going to be for people that enter in, us group, us, the tribe, the 3 tribe members at the moment, are going through our own processes as well. We are expanding even more. We're coming to a place, we're setting up for the container that we're going to be creating from the 26th of September. And so we're feeling it. We're feeling emotions. I was sick last week with some bizarre thing that I didn't know was a flu or a cold. And then at the end of the week, I realized that I was actually like birthing, coming through a birthing process and shifting and changing in my body. When I ended that process of 5 days, I felt like a different person. In all levels of my being. So there's a lot of processes that you go through when you start to dig into, deep beliefs that you have around the feminine energy, when you start to let go more of controlling everything all the time and anything that has to do with the masculine energy. And also, when you want to come into more of a divine play with the masculine energy. So we're going to get into this now. And I want to start from the starved feminine. Okay, so let's talk about what is the starved feminine to you. Maybe even talk a little bit about your own journey, because this is where I've found that a lot of clients of mine that come to me, whether they're in a relationship or they're single, they can be male or female or any orientation. The feminine is generally quite starved. And a lot of this has to do with the fact that the patriarchy has repressed the whole feminine energy for a long period of time. And so it's just kind of doesn't know that it doesn't know that we don't know each individually that we can access, that we can allow it to flow, that we're allowed to allow it to flow, that we even know that it exists, or that we know where to access it. And so I find I get people, and I'm going to talk about myself. Once I realized that I was actually a starved feminine place, I was in a situation, in a relationship at that time, where I felt like I was this little colorful bird sitting in a cage, just locked in a little cage. And I had so much I wanted to express and so much that was in me. And I just didn't know how to let it out, how to let it go, how to get out of this cage, and it spread my wings and express who I really was. So I see a lot of aspects around the starved feminine, but I want to hear from you guys what this means to you, and then a little bit about your own journey and what, I think also that this journey from this starved feminine it's not just, okay, starved, healthy, divine, it's kind of, you move through this, you move through and in and out, and then you find other aspects and oh my God, I gotta go in and deal with this. Like I was dealing a lot with trusting myself last week, really, and I knew that was part of the birthing, getting into the deep trust of my own being, my own intuition, my own desires, really trusting it, not questioning it, just go, trust. And that's a very repressed feminine energy, not to trust yourself, not to listen to yourself, to always, asking from an external manner, what should I do? Asking your partner, what do you think I should do? Asking your mom, what do you think I should do? Instead of, hey, I know what to do. I'm not asking anybody. I'm going from here. This is it. This is the choice, right? So that's one aspect that I was working on in particular, about the trust aspect, trusting oneself within one's own sexuality as well, trusting that I can express myself. I feel like doing this, and I'm so terrified to do it because I feel like I need somebody to tell me it's okay, or to lead me, or to guide me. But actually, no, I need to trust this desire in me so that I take these steps forward into my own expression, my own beautiful, joyous, flowing feminine expression. So yeah, that's just a little bit about what I've been going through. And so let's Fabiana or Bella, one of you want to jump in a little bit and talk about this starved feminine persona and some anecdotes of your own life.
Wow, it just resonates so much. Like everything you basically said, from the birthing process that of this month and this week, especially, that I think collectively we're going through, to the bird in the cage, that just reminded me of an aura reading I had many years ago. Sorry, I think my video is okay. So it was at least like 10 years ago, or maybe more. And the image was exactly that, the lady thought that was like a bird in a cage. She's like, that is dying to just express and fly, but it's so just stuck somewhere, and then, so it's been a journey during these past 10 years, and it's still ongoing. It's a bit intensifying lately. But what is it that is trapping me specifically, but it's trapping us women so much, right? And then this thing of the trust, oh my God, been feeling it for sure, of asking all the time and not being sure. And I see it not only in me, but as an ancestral thing. I was just talking today to my friend, about my mother always asking, for example, her children, right? Me and my brother and sister, like, oh, should I do that? Oh, should I do that? And I'm like, Mom, do what you want, like, what is it that you want? Like, it's like, oh, but are you going to like it? I'm like, it's not about me, right? It's not about the other. And I imagine, I'm not a mother, but I can imagine that, especially in motherhood, right? It's like, the children always come first, right? And so the women tend to put themselves always in second place or on the side and not follow really their desire. And then this really reflects, on the next generations, of course, and in all of us. And I found myself more than once, noticing that I don't ask what I want. Sexually it happens a lot, but not only, in all spheres of life. It's like, what do I want right now? What is my desire? And why am I so afraid to ask? So I think the thing of asking, it's which is part of the feminine, because the feminine is also about, right? The masculine is all about the initiative and doing. And the feminine is all about asking to receive, right? And we are so blocked to just ask for what we want, right? Sometimes we're ready to ask for the other, but not really for what we want. And that ends up starving us, because, then I'm always nourishing, feeding the other, right? All of the time. And then what about me? I need to eat, because if I don't eat, I'm just too weak. I don't have the strength to feed anyone else. And so I really do feel that that's been a lot of this mother archetype that's been over built on the women's shoulders, as if that's the only thing we're supposed to be, and but also as a mother, we need to receive. So I feel that the asking part is definitely, and learning, and it seems simple, but it's not. It's going beyond all of these limiting beliefs of learning how to receive, and so for me, that's been one of my latest, most intense works, the activating this chakra to ask for what I want, and also opening up to just sit back and receive, and not do, right? But just I'm receiving. I'm not going to propose. I'm not going to be oh, okay, I'll solve that. No. Fabi, just sit and let others do for you. right? Let others feed you. Like, allow yourself to be taken care of. And that to me is, like a very, independent, strong feminist, like what we were talking about last week. Woman, I'm also like a fire sign. So that's immediately already ready to act. This thing of sitting back and receiving or being taken care of, once again, like Bella was saying, it seems like it's a sign of vulnerability or a sign of weakness and not being able to. But it's not. It's actually one of the most powerful things we can do. Let others take care of us. So I feel like a lot of the starvation comes from that, from just feeding, and not being fed. And so, that to me is one of the learnings I'm really going through, and under all aspects, right? I mean, like emotionally, sexually, financially, right?
Yeah.
This thing of, why do I have to pay for everything? Why do I have to do everything? Right? Let me be open to receive.
Yeah, well, I really, the mother is that, this is the big one, right? The mother, because it's such a beautiful archetype, and it's so, like, it's just, nurturing is just in most of our blood, to nurture. I love nurturing. I have 2 children. I love the nurturing of the children. But it did get to a point for me too, where it's just like I have no more, like, nurturing children, nurturing husband, nurturing everything, nurturing, giving. And I was never taught to receive either. I wasn't taught to receive as a woman. Like, you just give it all. And this is where you turn into this starved feminine. You're just like, you have no more to give. And so then you become resentful, you become angry, you become anxious, you become sick, maybe even. Right.
Yep.
So
sure.
good point. Yeah.
I wanna add on that, because that's exactly what happened to me. So I'll dive into that, my journey, because I have 2 aspects to it that are directly related to what you say. And first started, and I think it really is about this. The feminine energy is very expansive, creative, and passionate, as well as receptive, vulnerable. But in our society, we are not allowed to express it as much. And it's, I discovered recently that the whole myths about dragons, the dragons with fire and controlling the dragon, it actually was because men had a lot of fear of women, and they started calling them the dragons. And that's actually the energy that was tried to be like subdued. And it really makes a lot of sense, because it's, in a way, when you subdue that feminine energy that's uncontrollable oftentimes, you end up, it's only there in controlled proportions and where you need it. It's not wild, and it doesn't go where it wants to go. But for women and for men who have that energy, when it's suppressed, it kills life itself, because I think feminine energy is about that growth, that creativity. And so for me, I had that happen to me in 2 aspects of my life. In the beginning, as a teenager, when I was really like in my masculine force a lot, like very much of an overachiever. And eventually I felt, and I became super, and the opposite of that creative flow is the control. So we become super controlling and very, very regrado, right, in Portuguese. So like very strict. Everything has to be perfect. Everything has to be a certain way. And, we are responsible for everything. And that ends up killing the other part of the energy, which is the feminine, which they're supposed to work in equilibrium, right? It's not that one is better than the other. They have to work in equilibrium. And for me, it resulted in completely losing my vital energy. So I started having digestive problem. Then it turned to like body aches. Then it turned into like just foggy head. And for 4 years, I like went from doctor to doctor trying to figure out what I had. And, after all these weird and scary diagnostics and no one trying to, being able to save me, I healed myself through a lot of that's how I got into wellness, actually. And through holistic nutrition, through a lot of the alternative arts, healing arts, and singing, which was something that I gave up doing because I wanted to do something more traditional, like psychology, and, you know, to make sure that I earn a living. And I gave up singing. And when, in retrospect, those years that I was not singing is when all of my flow, my energy stopped. And that's how it felt, that I was like always exhausted. There was no energy. Like the flirtatious energy, the energy of like attracting others was also not there, which is also part of the feminine energy. And then it happened again to me, again as a mother. Now when I turned into a mother archetype, right? And I also, like Liana, I love the nurturing aspect of it. I absolutely enjoyed the whole process of like the pregnancy and the breastfeeding. It was very feminine, of course. But then what we're not taught after that, and we're not allowed really, is to go back into our feminine self. And it's almost like, you know, once you become a mom, you have to give up being a woman. And that was the most devastating thing to me, as, you know, someone that was always connected to my feminine, you know, the sexual energy, the, like, you know, just, I guess, like being an attractive woman, you always, it's like, you use that, right? And in a way, like when you're in that cage of you're married, you're not allowed to use that force, you end up suppressing yourself and you end up killing that force inside of you, right? And literally, I think when my daughter was 3, I would just wake up like with zero energy and feel like I just didn't have that energy to give to anyone. But thank God, luckily at the time, I started doing a lot of the different practices that from activating my sexual energy that were offered at my you know, Embodied Institute, to a lot of breathing practices, to a lot of like visualizations. And a couple of months later, after doing these practices, one day I wake up and I was like, oh, it's almost like the filter changed, you know, it's like everything became colorful again. And I was like, I think I look attractive again. And I think I'm seeing good looking men on the streets, and everything seems like, and my creative energy came back, and I like started wanting to sing again. And, you know, and the sexuality was it's like everything. So you know, when you ask like what is the star feminine energy has to do anything, it has to do with everything. It's the source of everything. So it's like once you lose contact with it, you lose, you know, it's like that vital energy, which, you know, in the Chinese and the tantric traditions, it is equivalent to your, like sexual energy is equivalent to your vital energy. So it's one and the same. So I think it's primordial and so essential for women. And I work with a lot of mothers now too, that just don't know how to ask and don't know how to allow, don't know how to receive, don't know how to give to themselves. And I always think of the mask in the airplane. You have to put on the mask first on yourself. Otherwise you will faint before you can put it on the other. Just put it on yourself first. You can't give, you know, and I feel like a lot of mothers are like, oh, but my child, I have to take care of him. Yes, but if you don't have the energy to give, you're not going to be able to give to your child. And your child is going to be the happiest when you are happy. So being selfish, quote unquote, which is the only way that women now understand this, is like, you have to be selfish. You have to give time for yourself to be creative, for yourself to express your inner desires and go after what makes you happy before you can contribute to others. So really excited to be working with women to help them bring back this energy. I'm super passionate about that. And I think it's like the right time now to do that. I mean, it's always been the right time, but I think it's like we as you said, Fabi, it's also about changing the world, like paradigm, like our environment needs this to happen, our politics needs this to happen, right? The world needs it, socially we need this, our relationships need it. So
yeah, I was going to add exactly on that, this planetary thread a little bit to what we're talking about, exactly about this mother archetype and the starvation and the nourishment. Because, you know, if you think about it in wider terms, it's exactly what we've been doing with the earth itself. You know, like we have this idea of Mother Earth, right? As just something that is always there to feed us and to support us and to give. And it's like, dude, she can't anymore, right? She's also like a being and it's starving because then we've been treating her like abusively, right? And poisoning her and polluting her and abusing her, like really like raping her, basically, right? And so, but it's the same idea, right? And it's like, oh, okay, she's always this mother that's ready to give, but what about giving back to her? So I feel that this is also a planetary calling, as in not only reclaiming our own need to ask, right? But it's also consciously knowing that, yeah, it's also time to give back exactly to nature, right? And to give back to the environment as a feminine being, because it's desperately in need of becoming healthy again, right? Of getting out of this starvation. So just a parenthesis.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love that, really we think of us just these little beings, but it's all connected. When you get into the feminine energy, you're connected. When you start becoming connected. And so here we're in the starved feminine energy where we're feeling depleted. We've just not been able to flow in our bodies. We're not connected to our bodies anymore. We don't even know what it means to be feminine. Especially if you're a mother, as you get to be an older woman as well, you're really like, it's really pushed down on you that you're over, you're done, it's finished, and so we believe it, right? We sit in that, we're like, okay, well, I'm a mother, I'm 40, whatever age I am, let's say, and then I guess I'll never, like, sex is finished in my relationship. It's not happening anyway, so I guess that's it for that. And I don't feel sexy. I certainly don't feel attractive. And so we beat ourselves up, right? And so what we're offering here in this program too is to help empower you, help women, and we've done this and we continue to do this, find these beliefs that are holding you back from allowing yourself to open up, allowing yourself to know that you are not over. You are so just starting here. You've just been locked in that cage and the door is open, right? And you can open the cage, but the bird is like, what do I do now? What do I do? Like, I remember being that person. It's like, okay, like, now what? Now what? Like, and like peeking out what's out there. And it does take a lot of courage to know that there is so much more and you are worthy of now starting that journey of becoming healthy. So that's why I put the healthy as the next phase, is picking up healthier habits that help you connect to your own body, help you trust yourself more, start making you realize that, again, like Bella was saying, your vital energy, your life source energy is what has actually been depleted. And that life source energy is very unique to you. So what is it, connecting to that source, which I also claim is the desire in you, the deep desire, and what is it saying? What is it saying so that you can then make your moves? So getting to the healthy feminine is first finding a way to connect to your body so you can hear what step to take. You can hear some information to step out of that cage, right? So that you can then, whoa, I can fly. It's time to fly. Whoa, let's go. And start to trust yourself and feel it. And so this is, to me, how one starts to enter into that healthy feminine, loving yourself more, receiving in the sense of, really believing that for you to receive, you are actually replenishing your body, right? You're replenishing. So your body needs to energetically replenish itself, so that you can then give again, so that you can nurture again. But without the replenishing, that's how we get into the starve. So it's us as the feminine beings now being very strongly aware that we have the choice. We have the choice to make the changes. We don't have to sit in that cage. We have a choice and we can step forward. Bella, you want to add something?
Yeah, I wanted to say, Liana, that aside from a choice, I think it's almost like an obligation, because if we don't step up, most of us have an important mission to fulfill in this world, you know, and it's that feminine energy that needs to come in and reconnect and play, like you said, with the masculine energy. And if each of us doesn't do that, we're really doing the whole world a disservice. So a lot of times that's really the message I give the women that I work with, is that you can't be in the mentality of like, oh, this is selfish, I owe this to my family. Like, think big. You owe to the world to change the way it is. Like, I think most of us will agree that we don't want the world to be in the way that it is now. So it is up to us, and this changes start really from within. Like you said, Diana, from connecting to your body. And we don't even know what that means. We don't know what that means anymore. What it means to connect to the body? What the hell does that mean? Where is our body? What, you know, so even, you know, I worked as a fitness trainer back in the day, and as a nutritional consultant, and body, and, you know, it's still to this day, body is seen as this, like, it's purely aesthetic, right? Aesthetic artifact that you're supposed to, like, you know, put the right calories into, and, you know, lift the certain weights to look a certain way. You buy the magazines and you try to be like that certain person. But the body is your expression of your authentic self. It's an expression of your soul. So it's like, if you don't have that connection, if you're not aligned your body with your soul and with your mind, each part of you is going in a different direction, and you're destroying your body, and you're like, your mind is controlling you in some way, and then your soul is like all over the place, doesn't know where it's going. So I really believe that the trick here is to really discover your body again. And I work with what I call the Sensefulness Method, which is exactly about that, reconnecting with the language of the body. Because body is the only, think about it, body is the only part of us that's present in the moment. And we all have, many of you probably have heard of the power of the present moment. If you are in a present moment, you're in that healing moment. You can't, you know, your mind is always thinking about the past or the future, right? But the body is here now. So how do we connect with it? There are a number of ways, but if you guys allow me, I just wanted to show you a very small glimpse of what this connecting to the body means, because I think for most people it's still very foreign. I know a lot of people are practicing it more and more, which is amazing to see. But I think the body, and also this pleasurable wellness principle, is about, like, once you reconnect to, even from the smallest things, like you said, Lana, like from self-care and taking care of yourself, and saying, like, no, I need to take that break and rest. I need to, you know, go after that massage and you know, give myself that bubble bath. Like, those things, those acts of self-care will eventually, like, slowly reconnect you to your desires, and then, like, the bigger desires, and then, you know, do I want to be in this relationship or not? Do I want to do this job or not? So it all starts with a simple breath, actually, because the breath is what connects us to the present moment. And what happens from early childhood on is that, especially as women, we get really disconnected from the lower parts of our body, and this is because we're oftentimes, and this is something really beautiful that I read in the books of Osho. I'm sure you've heard of him. That when we're told, for example, you know, like, don't touch yourself down there, or, like, you know, there's something wrong with, you know, your feminine organs, as children, right? It's like we always look down on that. What happens is you start breathing in a more shallow way, because you feel like you're doing something wrong, and that kind of truncates your body in the middle, so your energy stops flowing. So you're only breathing with a shallow breath, and you're disconnected from the lower parts of the body. So connecting to your body, to me, is really reconnecting the whole body. And there's three things that I want to show you very quickly. It's breath, the vibrational forces of sound, and the actual, like, feeling your muscles and feeling your body down there. That could be done through contractions like Kegel. That could be done through it's like some of the breathing exercises I'll show you. So let's just sit comfortably. If you guys want to like close your eyes, or if you don't want to close your eyes, that's fine too. There's no right or wrong way to do, by the way, to do meditations. There's no, like, you don't have to be sitting in any certain position. So take a deep breath by placing your hands right on your belly, one at the very lower part of it, and then one right under your chest, so you can feel all parts of your belly and the two diaphragms that you have. And really go as deep as you can when breathing out. Allow that belly to hang out, the opposite of what we're told. Just allow it to go as far out as possible. And feel this vital force entering into your body through your nose. You can imagine it as a certain color, like golden, or that color blue of the ocean. Just imagine it going through your nostrils, deep into your body. And when you allow the air to flow into your lower parts of the body, retain it there and let it circulate. Imagine how it goes into your lower body, into your feminine areas, into your uterus, into your lower belly. Try to imagine your ovaries, and imagine how this air, how this oxygen, this vital force is massaging all of those areas of your body. Continue breathing and feel that part of the body awakening, and it's the dark part of your body. So really imagine as you're there with a flashlight, almost lighting it to see what's happening in there, reconnecting to that part of your body. And then as you're breathing out, connect to whatever emotion that you're feeling right now, or whatever sensation, and let out any sound that will allow the stagnant energy that's in that part of the body to come out. So breathe in one more time. Do a sigh, or you can also try a hissing sound. And as you're hissing or sighing, imagine as if there were a balloon inside your belly. Just squeeze all of the negative energy, all of the stagnated energy, and you can imagine it as a dark brown or gray, whatever color that you perceive. It all coming out of you through the chair, going into the bottom of your body, coming out and going into the center of the earth to be devoured by the Mother Earth, to be reintegrated. Because the Mother Earth has the ability to transform and transmute all of these negative energies. So allow, with your hissing sound, one more time, all of it to come out. And then the next breath, squeeze your lower belly, and together with your sphincter muscles, as if you were holding your pee. So just really squeeze everything down there and squeeze all of that energy out even more. So go breathe in the vital energy and squeeze out all of that stagnated energy. And now we're just going to end with a very simple sound that you're going to bring out. Just don't think about it. Just come out with whatever sound that comes out of your mouth. Two more breaths. And one last time. And before opening your eyes, just connect one last time with all of that area in your body. Thank your body for allowing you to connect to it. And just fill it with the energy that you want through the rest of this day, whether it be energy of love, energy of passion, energy of creativity, of peace, whatever it is that you want to expand further into this day. Allow that energy to enter that part of your body that's now open and receptive. And ready to open our eyes. So this is just something little that I want to show how there are a number of ways to connect to your body. I really find that this breathing together with these, the vibrations really activates it at some really deep cellular level. And of course, we did a very short one that I normally try to do like half an hour for it to really kick in. And then sometimes you'll start like crying, like a lot of emotions will come out. You might feel a little lightheaded, but it's a daily practice of connecting to our body. And
and I think I believe that all of us are going to be doing and offering a lot of body-based practices, especially throughout the entire program Vortex, because it's finding there's different ways to connect, but breath is just absolutely vital. This is learning breathing techniques so that the way you breathe will change forever. The way you understand your body, the connection that you begin to have with your body is going to change forever. This is a shift, a complete and total shift that we're going to take you on, and very powerful, very, very powerful, because once you're really connected to the body, so you're getting into this healthy, beautiful feminine, you're healthy now, you're connected, you're feeling stronger, you're feeling more connected to the information that's coming from you. You can hear it now, and you're taking steps, and you're feeling more alive, and everything starts to work in a different way. And as you go through that, then you start to connect, like, once you're connecting here within this being that your being, then you can start to like feel your this energy radiating from your body, right? It just radiates. And this is when this manifestation energy starts coming in. This is when attraction comes in, because you're full on receiving. And this is when you start to feel that you are actually connected to everything, right? You are one with everything. And this is what the flow is about. And this is how I see sort of the flow into the divine feminine, because you have to be first very connected and you have to go deep within yourself first to get healthy, to get stabilized, to get strong, to get nourished, like really nourished, so that you can then come out with this energy that just starts to radiate, you realize, wow, like, everything is part of me. I'm not separate from this. Everything is, my partner is part of me. And so, this sexual relationship that I have not been having is not just him. This is a big part of what's been going on in me. And now I feel so different, now I can, we're going to be teaching this as well, and guiding you. And how do you then voice exactly what you want and do it with strength and power and the true understanding of who you are, that is where the change starts to come. That's when you start to see your partner reacting differently. It's the feminine energy that has to start to lead in this, because we are everything. We're connected to it all. We're connected to the nature. We're connected to our partners and the people in our lives, connected into the movement, the flow of life. So let's just do a little chat about getting into the divine. Where are we taking people? What can they expect to feel? Maybe what have you felt as you have touched on or entered into? Like, maybe we're not full on in the divine all the time, right? Because we're human. We do like get things happen. Stuff happens in life. Horrible stuff sometimes. Horrible experiences, and we have to deal with these things. But if we've touched the divine feminine, if we've been there, if we've been able to flow at some point in our life, and I hope that we can take people to that point to feel it, then you know what is available to you, and that then your process is continually reaching for that, expanding to that, making that part of your life.
Well, I feel, Liana, that you've just, been actually touching upon that, introducing it. And actually just from the breath that Bella proposed, which was like so pleasurable, actually, right? And so connecting, because you see, it's not something complicated. This moment of in touch with the divine, right? Or connection with the divine, it starts actually from the simple. That's why the body, once again, right, going back to the body, is so important, and taking care of it is so important. Because if the body is not in balance and it's not feeling well, or it's not feeling pleasure, which could be under many aspects, like breathing well is an incredible pleasure, right? Then it would be impossible to access other layers of connection and consciousness, right? So just by simply breathing, you can see that it's as if your being just expands. And that is already a connection, a divine connection, right? With something greater, like you were saying, with something that is beyond us, with the whole, and with all of that. And that's strictly linked to this health. So I was thinking, about this. I just had this experience, for example, during a ritual last weekend. And it was very interesting. I'm still going through the process of, until my body was going through just resistance and feeling like, uncomfortable and maybe nauseous because my mind was also blocking, right? And was afraid of many things, of letting go of many things. And so, but the body was feeling like uncomfortable, right? Then the whole sensation was this preoccupation with the body, and the body not feeling healthy. And then the moment that, I allowed my body to be present and relax in the now, it was just an incredible shift. It's like a surfer that goes on that wave, and then you have to go past that wave so that you can finally ride it. It's kind of the same thing. So it's like going through that, moment of uncomfort to finally heal, and then feel your body completely. And that opens up just this expansion of the infinite. Really, it feels like you're infinite, and that is divine, right? But it really starts with the body. And I feel that in sexuality, for example, it's the same. Sometimes you just don't allow to go past that threshold that might be uncomfortable at first. But that's why working on it, it's so important, because once you really connect to the physical, presence, you can access gateways and portals that take you really to unknown places. So that to me is really the experience. And that might be at first even the blockage, or right, because a lot of people think it's a bit contradictory, like how does that work? Like the more you connect to the body, the more you expand your consciousness. But that's exactly what goes on. And it's because we have to break through all of these beliefs and taboos that the body is not spiritual, or that there's something wrong if we connect fully to our healthy bodily pleasure. And that's exactly the opposite, because once we are in touch with that, that's exactly the moment we have access to what's beyond and what's divine. So yeah,
Fabi, you just stole the words from my mouth. I was just gonna say that, it irks me and it makes me so angry that still spirituality ignores the body, or even worse, it just puts the body down completely. Religions, I'm not even going to say, because they're adamant for doing that. But I really feel that, there might be a way of like the aesthetic way of getting, just like denying yourself the senses and all the pleasures to get to the divine. There might be that route as well. But I believe that the feminine route to divinity is really through just allowing the body to flow and take its route, right? Like the Tao, right? The flow. And it's a little like, if you think about it, right? If you're trying to do a meditation and you've had a hamburger and you're like, you're all, your body's like you can't meditate. You have to feel well, right? You know what I mean? Like you have to be taking care of your body. That part. And that's why it's interesting, because I studied the Embodied Wellness Institute with the idea of healthy living, but eventually it takes people to the aspect of divinity as well, and purpose and all other aspects, because it all starts with like paying attention and allowing that body wisdom to guide you to the divinity. And in my case, as I started tapping into this divinity, like Leanna said, obviously, like it's not like you go through the threshold and then you're there, you become a divine being. You go back and forth between all the like uncomfortable and, Fabi knows, I just went through one a couple of hours before the live, but it's paired with these divine moments that are absolutely out of this world. And it can be a connection to, sexual connection, which go way beyond your, the regular, what is the average that people have sex, Leanna? 7 minutes or something, like 5, whatever it is. From sexuality to just the synchronicities and like Fabi said, portals. Because your energy really expands beyond your body, and you feel like everything that you desire. And it's not this like, oh, I want this. No, it's like, it's that this desire is part of the divine manifestation of the universe. It brings things into your road that are exactly where, like when in the time you need them, in the place you need them, all the signs and the, synchronicities. It's just beautiful. So you really tap into that magic, when you are flowing with your body and when you are healthy. And it might take, some people, it might take years to get there, or it might take, I think we're also in an accelerated time. So the good news for you ladies who are thinking of joining, I think you're at an advantage, because what took us like 20 years to get, we can help you get through the portals that exist now in the universe much faster. So yeah, it's definitely a really intense road. So it's, it's not for the weak ones, I guess, but it has incredible benefits that, go, like I said, from regular, health and pleasures to, divine, feeling like you're part of the whole thing. So that's.
Yeah. The feminine is the emotion, right? The emotion needs to move.
Yes.
And when you connect to your body, you can allow it to really move, like really move out. So that's why you get these intense kind of emotions coming through, because they've been maybe trapped and they need to get released. And even if they're not been trapped, when you start to connect to your body and you have intense emotions about something, you allow it. You don't say, oh, no, I can't say that. I shouldn't do this. I better not. I better be a good girl. No, you let them come out. You just blah, And because once you are able to do that, can connect and let your body flow, if a river is going down, it doesn't come to a rock and stop and say, oh, like, there's a big rock. We can't go any farther. No, it just like goes over the rock and, blah, 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 and let's keep going. And so that's the kind of feel where the flow comes out, and you hit things and things come up, but you let it out. Okay, blah, I need to say this, I need to feel this, I need to go here, I need to do that, and then feel better, and then get back into your, in your peaceful place and your relaxed kind of mode, and let the emotions move through you. Let them move through you. So this is, you want to say something, Fabiana?
Just something I heard just this week, talking about letting the emotions come out and this expression, and that's related exactly between, this health and divine feminine, that what you have inside that doesn't come out can destroy you, right? But what you have inside and you make it come out and you express it into the world can actually like be the most beautiful and most incredible thing ever, and can save you, right? And guide you. So, I mean, I think that's, it's really about expressing all of that water, right? All of that flow, and let it come out, because otherwise, it can make you sick, literally, if you block it. And also like stopping it from becoming an amazing gift to the universe.
The feminine is a total flow, just thinking about it in a sexual manner. We are like, first of all, we're like 3 rivers flowing from our internal being, flowing from our eyes, flowing from our skin. It's just, if when we allow it to flow, this is part of releasing it, is releasing it from the body in the flow of actually literally in liquids, right? Liquids. And then nourishing oneself, like, receiving your own nourishment again.
I just wanted to add that we are now, I think this is like the 3rd day that we correct me if I'm wrong, like Moon is in Cancer, and this is all about the water and the water element. So I really have been, feeling the calling, but also like the rains are falling all over, just really to connect with the water. And in a way it sounds weird, but it's like, every time you drink water, or you're lucky enough to be near the ocean, just allow that water for you to become the water. Which really is something, a sensation that you start having once you allow yourself to be that flowy and that receptive and at the same time powerful force. You just really have to connect to it at a very cellular level, because we are water. We
are
physically, biologically,
water.
So just allow the water to flow, because when it gets stagnated, that's the source of all diseases, like you said. And Fabi, like, I totally relate to the destructive force. My whole life I've been like, just everything breaks when I'm around, like the computer stops working, whatever, until I realize that it's the energy that I have that's not being expressed for the good. It's not, I'm not able to put my creativity out there, so it's becoming a destructive force. So it's very important for everyone around, for the safety of everyone around, for you to express yourself.
For the safety, for the transformation of the world, for the continuation of deepening in your relationships as well. The masculine energy needs the feminine to come out, to come forth. It's not about, I'm going to just take 1 second about the relationship. In a relationship, it's not about trying to fix it or point at him and blame, and it's about you taking back your feminine power, so that you drop into the feminine is dropping into you're dropping into the feminine power, dropping the masculine power. You can then play off each other through this polarity of energies, and both of you working at it, you in your feminine and masculine, you're really connecting to your own energetic being, will make a huge difference in your relationship. Huge difference. So we have the program starting on the doors are going to actually, I keep saying the doors are going to open the 26th. They actually close on the 26th, because that's when the program starts. So we want you to come in. We want to support people. We want to take you on a journey. We're so excited about this journey. Like, we're building it up. We're all feeling it individually. We come together. We feel this beautiful energy and information just flowing between us. And so we're closing the doors on the 26th for a 6-week period. During that time, We're each going to be offering masterclasses during the week, which are going to be very experiential, and we're going to be connecting with the cycles of the moon. There's going to be ceremonial aspects as well, because we're all very much about ceremony, and so is the feminine, and other surprises as well are going to happen. So come and join us. Come be with us in this magical, incredible journey that's going to transform you into something that's going to, what are we going to transform you into?
That we don't know, probably, right? That we don't even know, because that's also part of the feminine, and it's beautiful and magic. It's the void, right? And
yes.
it's so immense, and it's so beyond our what we can imagine. So, it's like beyond imaginable possibilities, and it's I think it's going to connect us to the infinity of who we really are, right? And we're going to take this journey at the same time. I mean, we're taking it, so there's no way to separate it. And that's the beauty, I think, of it, of being in a group of women doing it together. It's because we create a field, right? And we reverberate the energy of each other, and that has so much more potency going out into the world as well. So
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's something that you might come for certain issues that you're having, and it's totally it can work. We can work through a lot of different things with you, like Liana said, relationship issues, like health issues, or stagnated energy, or lacking creativity. And you might come to fix one thing, but you'll discover that everything is interconnected. So when you open that one part of your life, or heal that one part of yourself, you'll see that all other areas of your life will completely transform. And like Fabi said, it's something that we have no idea what will happen, but it's going to be magical.
Exactly. And we're all feeling it now. Like, even just from last week, we had a live. This week is another live. We've all gone through. I feel like I've lived a lifetime this last week. There's just been so much that has happened. And I'm definitely being activated by these two women as we go through this process, and I'm really feeling amazingly touched and diving. I'm diving deep. I'm going in, and this is the time. This is the time to do it. So come and join us. Information will be in the description, but we'll also be talking more about it and posting information about the program. So I think we should probably wrap up here, guys. What do you think?
Yeah, it sounds perfect. 107, okay. Very Kabbalistic number. We like that.
And now it's 8, so it's the infinity.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for coming in and chatting and connecting and diving into this beautiful feminine energy discussion. And we'll come back and do some more of this, right?
Yes,
definitely. We'll be here every Friday, I guess.
Until
the door closes. So you have time, but not too much time. So hurry up.
Yeah, get in now. Don't miss it. Okay. Thanks so much, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share this video to anyone you think that might resonate with this information. You think might help them. You think that this is going to be some awesome program for somebody. Just please share it. Let people know. I think we want to get this information around. We want to get a nice juicy group in our tribe for this upcoming event. Okay.
Yay! Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Ciao.